Welcome, and welcome again to the live podcast. Don't wait to be great. I'm your host, Derek Forston. We're super excited that you're here. Happy Sunday and all of that good stuff. Oh, Saturday. I'm skipping today. I'm talking about Sunday. Let me slow this weekend down for you guys that got to go back to work on Monday. So anyway, guys, my name is Derek Forston. I'm super excited to meet with you guys each and every weekend. Happy Saturday. Today is a great day to be alive. And we are Forston Consultants, and we are a consultant company that by the time we're done today, you're going to realize and know how to start your own independent living facility. Yeah. And that's just simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So if you've heard of a group home, an ALF, an IDD, an APD, all of these different housing models, the shared housing model, the ILF model, and which is what we trademark, we think is the best. And we're going to give you a lot of reasons why today. We're also going to talk about what is the fastest way to get into real estate. And we're going to be talking about the HRA model, which stands for Housing Referral Agency. So again, I'm Derek Forston. I represent Forston Consultants, which is our consulting agency, but I also represent Second Chance Housing, my personal independent living facilities where we take people from homeless to hopeful. So Shay, introduce yourself to the people who you are and what you do.
Listen, happy Saturday. Good morning to everybody far and near and everywhere else. I'm Shanya Shea Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, which is a local 501c3 nonprofit organization, which utilizes this ILF model as part of our program in housing. Again, I'm also an expert consultant here at Forston Consultants, where I get to show you if you are interested in taking your nonprofit to the next level by adding housing to the ILF model. So that's a little bit about me. I'm excited to be here as always. Go ahead and tag a friend. If you are new to us, go ahead and put the word new in the chat or in the comments, or also text the word new to 407-326-0086. We have a great and pleasant gift for you. You don't want to miss out on that. And then also like and subscribe and click the notification bell. We want you to join our ILF family right here on YouTube. Derek?
And also, we want to know where you guys are located. So go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are located. We like to do a lot of networking in here, so I'll probably be the first one. We're over here in Orlando, Florida. So we get that question a lot here lately. We don't actually mention it that much, but just in case if you're wondering where we're located, we're in Florida and we're in the Orlando area. So we cover all of Central Florida when it comes to housing and a bunch of other stuff. But just in case, again, to let you guys know, Shay and I are in the Orlando, Florida area.
Correct.
But our teaching works in all 50 states. So I'm already starting to answer some of the questions that kind of came in from the Wincher family. They asked a lot of different questions, but one of them is the one that I just answered, right? Where does this teaching apply? Where does it work? Everywhere. So I don't care if you guys move to Israel tomorrow, guys. There's a housing problem everywhere. Everywhere from Florida to California to New York to New Jersey to Detroit. Doesn't matter. No matter where you live at, no matter what your zip code is, there is a housing problem. And today we're going to talk about how can you be the solution to that, maybe even being an HRA, which is a housing referral agency. And very simply, that also stands for, HRA stands for somebody that wants to get into what we do in terms of housing the homeless and the displaced. But maybe you can't buy a house. Maybe you can't rent one. Maybe you can't lease a house. Well, as long as you have a cell phone and an internet connection and you're willing to build relationships with people, you can implement the HRA starting today. And you can still take people from homeless to hopeful and also be paid for it. So again, if you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, but you had no clue where to start, let us know, right? Type it in the chat. Let us know if you're new to us. Like Shay said, if you are, we got a free gift for you. It's our newest ebook, actually, right? So instead of charging you for it for the next probably 30 days or so, I'm going to let people get this book for free. And if you just text the word new, that's it. NEW, just that one word to 407-326-0086. My team will send you the information that you need. And I think they ask you for your email and your first and last name. But as long as you do that and you text it to this phone number right here at 407-326-0086, and I put it on the screen for you. And again, all you got to do is just type the word new.
That's it.
And then in a separate text, you can type the word more info. Now, those are two words, MOREINFO. And we got another gift that we want to give you, which is our introductory webinar. Because oftentimes on our YouTube channel, we just treat you guys like family. We just talk and go on and on. But I love to give people what I'll call a chronological order of how to do this.
Right.
So I do it in a more studious way in that webinar. But on YouTube, we just have a good time. We laugh, we joke, we cry together, we learn together. But most importantly, we get money together here through housing people. So again, if you're new, let us know.
Listen, Derek, for the new people, this is our cozy coaching. So you see, I'm very comfortable. So sit back, relax, get a notebook. Have your questions ready, right? We're always here to answer questions and give value. So, grab your cup of coffee. I got mine. Join us on the cozy couch, the cozy coaching couch, and let's get your questions answered on how we can get you started in becoming an ILF owner and operator. Absolutely. Or even an HRA provider, right? Let's educate you and inform you on what that means and how to position yourself accordingly to do so in your community.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a question right now from the Winter family, but I actually got a video that explains it. So let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forster Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forster Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forster Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA, and you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.
That's the first question that a lot of people have been asking, like, how do you get started? Why don't you need a license? So again, I'll always give the introduction of what an independent living facility is, because without that, it'd be hard for you to understand what the HRA is. And I'm throwing a lot of acronyms, but I'm gonna speak really slowly today, which I'm not very good at, but I'm gonna try to slow it down. ILF stands for Independent Living Facility, and that is simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So many years, guys, I used to be a social worker, right? And I always wanted to get into helping people. I wanted to get into real estate, but had no clue that I could combine the two together.
Yeah.
Luckily for me and blessed of me and thankful for God that God showed me a lady, y'all, that was making 41 grand a month, that was doing something very similar to this, but she was housing people in rats and roaches in really bad conditions. And it blew my mind for two reasons. For one, that you can make this kind of money doing this. And for two, how dare you do this and house people in the conditions that I saw. So I saw a lot of rats and roaches and filth and grime, and people's beds were on the ground versus on bed rails, right? Bed bugs and all of the things that could happen to all of you and me. But the difference is that we're going to do something about it. More than likely, we're going to be proactive, and we're going to have pest control and different things of that nature. Right. We're also going to have rules and structure. This lady just rented rooms to people and let people do whatever they wanted to do. Yeah. So that answers another question by the Winchell family. When you guys ask, is the rules, is it structure? Absolutely. Because if not, this turns into a clown show really fast. So again, this has the makeup of a group home, the makeup of an ALF, but without all of the rigmarole. And that's not a real word, but without all the jumping through the red tape, all of the hula hooping, having to ask for permission from your state, your city, your government entity. Guys, with the ILF model, the clients that we serve are completely independent. So essentially, all we're doing is renting rooms. But because we put structure behind it through the independent living facility model, that's what makes this so genius, because we're able to help a lot of people that otherwise couldn't afford an apartment, couldn't afford their own house, right? So again, Winchell family, I'm knocking y'all questions out back to back. The reason why we're needed, because I'm housing a guy that can't pass a background check.
Yeah.
I'm housing a guy or a lady that don't have all of the deposit and the security deposit and the double deposit. All of these things people are asking for now. Light and water deposits. So all of these different things that the regular apartment complex is looking for, or the mortgage lender, guys, I'm not looking for any of that. I'm trying to take people from homeless to hopeful, and I'm doing that in a shared living environment. And what you see on the screen is what we're not going to do. This is what I saw a lady doing, y'all, making $41,000 a month. Type yes in the chat if you made 41 grand a month, if that would change your life just a little bit. Because, guys, I was making $28,000 a year. How could I? Like, guys, it's hard to make it making 28 grand a year.
Yeah.
But when God put a vision in your heart and in your head, boy, it's hard to shake it. So again, put a number 7 in the chat if God has put this on your heart, but you kind of didn't know where to start. Lucky for me, God showed me a lady, y'all, that was living my dream, but she was doing it the wrong way. So guys, I'm no rocket science. I'm no genius. We just saw something that was bad, like these pictures. Look at the beds on the ground. Look at the beds that are on cinder blocks. I always joking to say this, but if you don't got your glasses on today, that second picture, guys, those are cinder blocks.
Yeah.
That is holding the bed up. The devil is a liar. We're not housing people in conditions like this. Look at this guy's fan and his TV sitting on a banana box. Guys, we're not doing that. Especially not making $41,000 every 30 days. Are we serious? So again, these are pictures of what we're not going to do. And now this is what it looks like. This is what I say, hey, Shay, I think I thought what's going to save the rest of our life. And Shay, I'm going to pull you from corporate America, and we're going to start you housing the homeless too. Yeah. So Shay, I want you to chime in real quick to tell the people how you got into it, because I'm a for-profit, right? Shay does this from a nonprofit standpoint. Shay, give the people a little bit of your story, how you got into this, how it was introduced to you. Where were you working and where are you today?
Yes, I was in healthcare management, a managerial role. And honestly, just, really fed into Derek's vision and his dream of wanting to do this when I had no clue that this even existed, right? So ultimately, as time grew on, and the expansion of second chance housing with more houses, more residents, needing more infrastructure from an administrative standpoint, Derek was like, listen, I need your help. So I came on in. But once I got in in the field, it was like, okay, well, what really do you want me to do? Because you have everything already set up and operational. And he was like, listen, I would like for you to oversee all of our female housing. So I was like, okay, no problem. What does that look like? And with that, I said, you know what? I want us to be able to add a little bit more than just the housing aspect. So I'm going to do this from a nonprofit standpoint, so that there are things that we can do or provide from the giving or the donations from the nonprofit, and be able to kind of spread that throughout all of second chance housing, and actually throughout most of the ILFs within our umbrella of ILF family and the ILF association, which is due to come. But that is what really stemmed that for me and sparked that idea of nonprofit, knowing that there was more that we can do than outside of the housing. And that would be like different outreach programs, different things that we can do within the community that would in turn point people to the housing. And that's literally what made me come up with the idea of going nonprofit. Did I know how to do it? Absolutely not. It was like me winging it, just like he did. I wung it, if that's even a word.
Right? I like it.
I was winging it. But ultimately, you find mentors, you find people in your sphere of influence that are doing the same thing, and you kind of collaborate and gain ideas and gather more information and really take it to the next level in the housing spectrum and sphere. And that's what we're doing currently, and utilizing the nonprofit organization to help facilitate that. The nonprofit goes before us sometimes and has those conversations, or is able to initiate conversations in rooms that the for-profit organization can't.
Right.
And that's kind of the benefit and the balance of having the for-profit and the nonprofit within the ILF space. So
Absolutely. I love it. No, it absolutely did, because the Winter family is asking all of these questions, and that's our job, is to answer every question that you guys have. So if you guys have any questions about what we're talking about so far, and if you just joined us, We're simply discussing how do you start your own housing program and not need a license, not need to be in CNA or RN or LPN. Guys, there is no license required for what this is because we're serving people that are independent. So remember, the acronym is ILF, Independent Living Facility. And again, that's a shared living environment, Yvette, that adults can live and thrive without the need for staff. Most of y'all have been trying to get into this, just like I was 8 years ago, but people hid it from me. Nobody wanted to share what this was or how to get into it. But that's what we do every Monday, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you're just joining us today, you are right on time. If you love God, love people, and if you love real estate, you're in the right place. I'll say that one more time. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, we're showing you guys today how to merge it all together. And then along the way through our teaching and going through things over the last few years, we ran into a lot of people that wanted to do what we do, but they simply couldn't lease, rent, or buy a house. But they still had the dream on their heart from what God put in their heart. So we came up with this model that's called the HRA. It's called a Housing Referral Agent. And that allows you guys to do exactly what we do. But you guys are going to make a referral to people, right? You're going to use relationship. Correct. I talk about all the time how relationship sometimes is more important than the real estate. Yeah. So with the HRA, you need relationship. You need to know people and have relationship with people that already have the real estate. Yeah. So that way, when you get the call after we teach you how to do it, you now make a referral and you make a referral fee, right? So I got people that do this HRA model and they make anywhere from $300 to $900 a week. Can you imagine adding an extra $300 a week just by making a referral to somebody? Yeah. So you still took somebody from homeless to hopeful and you didn't need the house. Give me 3 of y'all that put a number 1 in the chat and say, yeah, I like that model, Derek, because I've been trying to do this and you're telling me I can do it, but don't need a house. I only need relationship. Can 3 of y'all put a number 1 in the chat if you feel what I'm saying on that? So if you guys look at the screen, this is what we offer. Shay, this is called a shared living environment. Now, Shay, even though I house men and you house women, does your women that you house fit this model? If they do, talk about it. If they don't, talk about it.
So I have to. So I'm going to give them the breakdown of what my houses currently look like. Okay. Right. When I tell people often, you know, the demographic changes in this space based on your community and the community that you serve. So my demographic has changed dramatically. From conception of the Angela Denise Foundation, which was the handover of Second Chance Housing to me. I had young women that were, you know, had mental health disorders, but they were navigating through a program that was helping them to really re-enter into community. So that was the first demographic. And that was that way for about 1.5 years, 2 years, where a program literally brought all of their ladies, you know, one graduates, another one came, one graduates, another one comes, and, you know, and that was the revolving door. That program still exists. You know, so it's not like we parted ways from the program, but what happens is their demographic kind of shifts a little bit. So that causes the housing demographics to shift, right? So now my current population type is your average everyday working female, your average everyday working individual that has, you know, fell on hard times, had a divorce, an older woman that has lost her husband, has been totally reliant and relying on the income of the husband because she was a stay-at-home wife. Now she's living on a fixed limited income. You know, she's never really been alone because she's been married for a multitude of years. So now she's looking for community and camaraderie, right? So these are some of the things that that we see and that I'm doing now in facilitating housing. So when it comes to the room setup in my houses, my master will always be a shared, for the most part, because 99.9% of the times my master has a bathroom. Right. So what I want to do is maintain the restroom and not have it just allocated to one person. So at least having 2 people in the master, that's one bathroom. We're talking about women. You know how we are, ladies, when it comes to the need and the utilization of the restroom. When you need to go, you want to go now. And if you want to take 6 hours, you know what I'm saying? So that's some of the things that you have to kind of look at when you go to housing females or women. So my setup is usually 2 and private, so shared and private. So right now my privates are outweighing my shared. So I have 1 shared and all the rest private per
Okay.
house. So
So
that's
what
what
they
I'm
see
looking
on the
at now.
screen right now, Shay, would you describe this as a private room?
Correct.
And just so that the people understand, what's the difference between a private room and a private suite?
So the private suite may come with its own restroom. It comes with its own restroom accommodation.
Okay.
So like in the house that we just renovated, there is 1 suite. So this is a 5-bed, 3-bath. There is 1 ensuite. Well, 2, because the master has an ensuite, and then we have a suite, a private suite,
Okay.
where someone actually has their own private restroom.
Gotcha.
And then we have 3 women sharing 1 other restroom. So you see the balance in
Yep.
that. Can you imagine having 6 women trying to share 1 bathroom?
That's not
So
gonna
you
work.
got to think
Now
of
with
it
my
from
guys,
that
that can work all day long, but with the women,
Yeah, it does not
we
work.
don't recommend that, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that balancing act for me.
So I love that. So again, from the Witcher family, in terms of how to start the HRA, now make sure you guys text the phrase more info. Again, MOREINFO, more info to that phone number 407 326 0086. Because in there, and I'll put it on screen for you, right? There's the instruction. Because in that text, when you do text it, you're going to get 2 links. One is for the HRA webinar and one is for the ILF webinar.
Correct.
So if you want to do this and you want to get your own house and do it, I say watch both of them. But you say, well, Derek, man, it's going to be a while before I be able to rent one, buy one, or lease one. You need to watch the HRA webinar, which is only 14 minutes long. Even though I'm going to guide you to the webinar, I'm still going to tell you guys how to do it, because that's just kind of what coach I am. But really quickly, and I'll bring up a slide to even help you guys with that. Remember, guys, you don't need real estate all the time to make this happen. You need the relationship. Because what if you know somebody or have the relationship with somebody that owns property already and they don't mind doing this? Yeah. You're going to be the liaison. You're going to be the hookup to them. You're going to be their whatever name you want to call it, because the conduit. You're going to be the middleman, right? Because remember, in that webinar and today, I'm going to teach you guys how to build relationship through social media, through your email marketing, through word of mouth, and again, social media. So on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you should post every day that you provide affordable housing. And even before that, the first step to everything that we teach is turn yourself into a business. So I'm going to pick on somebody in the chat, right? I'm going to just grab a name. So you take Yvette Muse. Now, if I'm saying your name wrong, Miss Yvette, you let me know, because I'm sorry. But Yvette, let's just say that you changed your name from Yvette Muse to YM Solutions or Muse Enterprise. Yeah. Right? So I always teach that. Get rid of yourself. So when I first started, get rid of Derek, because dummy me, I didn't do this, y'all, and it led me to a $40,000 lawsuit. So remember, the reason why I come here every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, so that you don't make the mistakes that I did. Dummy me, I didn't remove Derek Forston, and I tried to do this from Derek's name. That was the dumbest mistake I ever made. That's why I want to give y'all my new ebook for free. It's going to teach you how to avoid this $40,000 lawsuit that I went through. And you get it by texting new to that phone number. But anyway, Yvette, imagine changing your name to Muse Enterprise, Muse Solutions, Muse Group, right? Or YM Enterprise. Right. That's the first step. Because of liability, guys. Had I had that structured the right way, I wouldn't have been in that trouble that I was in, y'all, and made the Channel 8 news and all of that. So see how transparent I am and how I don't want y'all to make the same mistake? Number 1, turn yourself into a business. Correct. Number 2, advertise like crazy that you provide affordable housing. Number 3, get a social media and an internet presence. We recommend using this company called digitalflowsolutions.net. Every business that we have, guys, the foundation of it is through digitalflowsolutions.net. Yes, that's the best software system and all-in-one platform in the world that no matter what business you run, this software system can manage it. So it's everything from your CRM, your website, your social media, and all of your social media, not just TikTok, but Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, all of these, YouTube. Yeah. Guys, imagine going to one place and posting in 7 or 8 different places at one time. So again, whether you house the homeless or you fry chicken and sell it out your back door of your house, don't matter. Or whether you bake the best chocolate chip cookies and you sell them in bundles of 12.
Yeah.
You all need a website, guys. It's almost 2025. And if you're not on the internet, you don't exist.
Yeah.
So real quick, y'all should go to digitalflowsolutions.net. Oh, and by the way, it also comes with a phone system.
Yes.
So guys, for $97, you get a website and all that stuff I just named. Phone system, CRM for $97. Mm-hmm. And now you just get it hosted every month for $37. So again, guys, the HRA model allows you all to not have to wait to buy a house, to not have to wait to lease or rent one. You can start today. Yeah. Because right now, if you own an ILF and you're in this room, put in the chat where you're located and how many beds you got available. Watch me show you how this works, right? So I'm going to put Orlando, Florida, and I got 3 beds in Orlando myself. I'm also going to add my Kissimmee location. I got a Kissimmee location. And if I spell this wrong, y'all forgive me. And I have, let me see, 1, 2, could be 4, but I'm going to say 3 because 1 could be a private. I'm going to say 3 beds available. Yeah. And watch how right in this room we can network and you guys can learn this skill. You can fill my beds and I'll Zelle you so fast it will scare you. Because the way the HRA works is that this, I'm going to pay for a referral that you give me because I never knew Mr. Greg. Right. Greg that called your phone looking for housing or the hospital. I didn't have the relationship. I just told you 2 minutes ago that this is all about relationship. But let's just say you built the relationship because you watched my free webinar that was only 14 minutes and you found some guy that want to live in Orlando and he got a SSI income of $1,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And I only charge $920 maybe for my private room. You call us with that referral and we move the guy in, you just made yourself $300 and you took somebody from homeless to hopeful. I think that's pretty cool. Sure, is that cool or not? That these people can house folks and not need the house or the real estate to do it.
Not even a little bit.
It's not difficult. Powerful.
And I think that's the misconception. People say, wow, it seems pretty easy. Yes and no. I'm going to say yes and no to that, right? Because it's going to take consistency. It's going to take, really networking and really putting yourself out there. And also having, like Derek said, that presence. So people know that you are who you say you are, right? It's one thing to have a Facebook or social media platform that you're articulating your message from and through. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you have that website, that web presence, that Google My Business presence, right? That people know that you are actively facilitating or actively doing business. Listen, you don't understand how many times now actually banks are requesting your website when you go and open a business banking account. And people don't realize that specific banks will ask you for a website. They want to see that you have a digital footprint. And that is super, 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 super important. So just know that although it's easy, you want to make sure that you have everything in perspective, everything in place so that you can honestly take the information that we're giving you and run with it, right? We don't want you to just start going out and saying, hey, well, I'm this person, I'm that person. Yeah, it's fine. But when people trust but verify. Mm-hmm. We're in a season now where they want to separate the fakes from the ain'ts from the people that are, right? They want to make sure that they're validating that you are who you really say you are and that your business is really who you say it is. A lot of these organizations that you are partnering with, again, they're going to verify and validate your existence by utilizing the World Wide Web.
Absolutely. And if you guys will look in the chat, and I'll put some of this stuff on the screen, but if you can look in the chat, we're giving you guys ways right now to help people do God's will and make money. Because right here in Orlando, Florida, 3 beds, Kissimmee, 3 beds. Linda said that she's in Orlando with 8 beds available. And big shout out to Miss Linda, who opened her brand new facility. And looks like at 12 o'clock today, she's welcoming her first client. So big shout out to Miss Linda. But look at what Angela already posted to Miss Linda. Hey, Linda, how can I contact you? So Angela is already getting ready to be an HRA to Miss Linda. See how this works. And this is why I tell you guys to put in the chat where you're located. Excuse me. How many beds you have, because there's people already here that are ready to help you.
And I have
so see how genius our coaching is and how we built this. We coach and teach people that have the housing, but we also coach and teach people that are wanting to help as an HRA.
Correct.
So that it all merges together. I love that.
I want to give this tip to Miss Linda. You better get in contact with Angela. Because listen, Angela's phone does not stop ringing. Okay, I've been around her, and we've literally tried to have a 5-minute conversation, and those providers are always contacting Angela.
Yep.
So you need to connect with Angela as soon as possible. She is a great representative in the Florida area and outside of that, but I'm talking about for you specifically because you are here in Orlando. You definitely want to connect with her.
Absolutely. Miss Yvette says, how can I get a home to get started? First step, Miss Yvette, if you're super new to us and you just kind of discovered us, the first step is watching our webinar by texting more info to 407-326-0086. And Miss Yvette, you can just let me know in the chat. Are you super new to us? Did you just find us, or have you been around a while? Our webinar will kind of lead you down that path, and then our coaching absolutely will lead you down that path, right? A lot of people that you see that are commenting in the chat, they're actually under our coaching. There's a lot of people that just come here 3 days a week and learn this info for free, right? But the people that want you to hold their hands, those are the people that usually get our ILF Mastery Blueprint, which is our one-on-one coaching. But to get your first house is kind of also to start with what we just said in terms of watching the webinar, joining us 3 days a week here, but also from the webinar, we give a free discovery call. So we want you to come and ask your questions and get involved. But I'll admit, I love for people to ask their questions here.
Yeah.
The discovery call is most of the people that say, well, Derek, you know what? I think I want to move forward with your coaching, but I got a couple questions before I move forward.
Yeah.
I wish that everybody that has questions, don't save that for a discovery call. Ask them right here on this channel. That way we can all learn together. But if you say, Derek, man, I want that coaching, man, I just got to ask a couple things that I don't want everybody to hear in my business, then no problem. You get that free discovery call.
I want to jump into this. I want to give people the preface of why we really facilitate and ask that you watch the webinar. What we tend to see is people will they'll schedule a strategy call without watching the webinar. And then they realize that this is really not something that they're interested in doing, right? Or they may not get the full perspective on the overview of the ILF model. And that's why we say, watch the webinar, really indulge yourself in the information. So that way, when you do have your strategy call, your questions aren't surface. We want to give
they're not the questions that I answer in the webinar. Right. Because that way you kind of waste your time. You rather ask me questions that I did not cover in the webinar.
And go a little deeper, right? Like we've had people that won't watch the webinar and they come to us and like, well, how do I get paid? Well, what is this? What, like that to us is considered surface level material.
And that's also on our YouTube channel.
Correct. We want people that when you do this, not that we want people, but we would love for people to be able to watch that webinar, gather all of the surface level information, and then really think about those deep questions that you have and you really want understanding on. And that's when you schedule that strategy call. Our goal is to say, hey, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's see where you're at in the process and how we can help get you started. We don't want to spend, usually the strategy calls are scheduled for 15 minutes. We normally go well over that because we want those deep plaguing questions, those probing questions that are really the things that are making you hesitant in starting, so that we can help you kind of really discuss that and tear down whatever barriers that you think you're facing in order to get started. The reason being is because there is a need. You are needed in this industry. You are needed in your community. You are needed for so many people that are homeless, that are houseless, that are couch surfing, that are literally trying to figure out who is available to assist me in this time of trouble. And that's why we want to get people on the phone to be able to explain to you how you can get started and really make an impact in your community.
Absolutely. So again, man, that webinar is an absolute cheat code for all of you guys. Make sure you watch it. And what's so cool is that my team will be able to see through the analytics that you have watched it.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably send you the invite to set up an appointment probably before you get a chance to do it. My team is pretty good about that. So make sure you guys do that. Linda, you asked a question in the chat, and I want to answer it out loud as well. You asked, could you put the address in the chat? And I said no to that. Give it to people individually.
Not.
That's not safe to broadcast your address to your housing program through the whole YouTube channel. We just want to be careful with that. And we also want to keep your place safe. Right. And I'll even go a little bit further so that people can understand what I'm talking about. Just like my wife, Shay, who houses women, just like a lot of you guys that house women, and some of you guys have what I'll call a domestic violence shelter. You're housing women that are escaping domestic violence. We don't want the person that's chasing her or trying to beat her up to know the address.
Right.
So we always keep the address very sacred to us. We can give it to providers. We can give it to HRA people individually, but we're not going to put that post on social media so that everybody knows the location of your building. Make sense, Miss Linda? Put yes in the chat if it does and put no if it don't, because if it don't, I'm going to keep going.
I want to go a little deeper with that as well. If you post that information, what you don't want is other housing providers that may, like, again, we're no stingy in energy here in our community. You know, we will share resources and everything, but you don't want other people on the outskirts trying to come in and sabotage what you've already gotten. Another thing is you don't want potential residents, unless they are a secure fit. I'm gonna go a little deep here. That unless they are secure fit to get the address to the home and then becomes and they're not a good fit and they become a squatter on your property. You don't want that, right? Yep. So the address is only given to providers, HRAs, and residents.
And that's the resident that you've agreed that they're going to move in. Watch this, Linda. I'm going to bless other people to hear this. So I'm going to pretend Linda and I are the only two people on the phone right now. Shay said it, but I'm going to just reiterate it. Guys, this is also about safety, right? Correct. We don't want everybody to know the address. Shay also said that you don't want people to sabotage what you've built. There's some haters out there, Miss Linda.
Yes, ma'am.
And everybody doesn't have your back the way that we do. And the people that are listening right now on YouTube, we all got your back. Look at Nikki that even said, Miss Linda, may I have your contact info as well? And what I love about this, these are people that are in different cities and different states, and they're still willing to help you, Miss Linda. So that's what's really cool about the coaching that we have and the people that we're surrounded by. Everybody here wants to see you succeed.
Yeah.
But there's some outside people that are wishing and begging to do this that will be hating on you and that will try to sabotage it. So again, keep the address safe. Okay.
Please keep it safe.
I've been scrolling through the chat. I've also been scrolling through some of these pictures. That was for the Winter family that asked me, what does it look like? Derek, can you show me what some of the accommodations may look like? But again, guys, don't forget, if you guys got any questions or any concerns about this model, absolutely let us know. Miss Shay,
so what's your question? I do have a question from one of our other streaming platforms. Miss Nancy says, what would you consider one of the hurdles to getting started?
One of the hurdles to getting started is kind of what we just said. Haters, people not believing in this, and that can include your family, your best friend, the girl you grew up with that you thought she had your back. So sometimes, like even when I first started, people thought I was crazy. Derek, how you gonna start a housing program with no license, no doctors, no nurses? People think, Derek, you are an idiot. This will never work. So first of all, get rid of all the naysayers and cover your ears up. Trust God. Because if you're not trusting God through this whole process, it's easy to get discouraged. So that's another word that can go into what Shay asked me. What can be a barrier? What can stop you? Discouragement. Because everything isn't going to go your way in the beginning, right? But if you give up, I can guarantee you this will never work. But if you keep pushing and through God's help, you're going to be just fine as long as you don't give up. The other part, Shay, is people get, I'll say the lack of good coaching. A lot of times people want to get into something like this without a coach. Without a mentor. One of the best things that I found out over time, guys, is learning from people that have already been through the bumps and bruises so that you don't have to. Guys, I wrote a book not even 60 days ago that'll save y'all life, and I'm giving it away for free over the next 30 days. And all you do is type the word new to 407-326-0086, and I give you the book for free. It's called Avoiding the ILF Fiasco. The 12 biggest mistakes I ever made of getting started in this, Shay. They can get it for free. And one of those guys is showing you how not avoid it because it happened, but how do you avoid a $40,000 lawsuit?
Yeah.
And I gave you one of the keys earlier by removing your name, get you out of the way.
Yes.
Start a business, which is going to cover you guys when it comes to liability. So Shay, that's how I'll answer that.
I have one I want to add, and it's going to be, I think one of the, not even a hurdle, I'm going to just say one of the things that we see on a regular basis is consistency. You'll always hear me talk about consistency. That's something that I even battle with when it comes to the social media. That's why I hired a social media manager, which is a virtual assistant from the Philippines, because that's a very difficult thing for me, right? I don't like being behind the camera. I feel like my creativity is capped when it comes to getting the messaging out there about my housing program. So I hired someone else to be able to do that for a very feasible price of $5 an hour, right? va101.co for a virtual assistant. Again, if you utilize our coaching services, that's something that we do provide you with, is that virtual assistant. But I think consistency is one of the things, and being consistent in connecting with people. I think that's another hurdle that people sometimes face. If they don't get a returned phone call on the first 7 times, they give up. And sometimes you may have to keep knocking on that door until somebody answers, right? And that's with your providers, your case managers, your social workers. You've got to be consistent. Sometimes they're not going to jump on the bandwagon the first time they even engage or get the phone call from you, because what you have to realize is this niche, the area that we work in is very fluid, and a lot of people come and a lot of people go. There's lack of longevity when it comes to the housing providers because of their inability to be consistent with their messaging. And that's why we tell people you've got to be consistent all the time, always, with your messaging. You've got to be consistent with reaching out to, your providers. You've got to be consistent in all of that. And most of the people that we coach, we tell them again, utilize your platforms. All of our ILF coaching clients have access to digital flow solutions. Create a monthly newsletter. Create something that goes out automatically without you thinking about it, that's engaging the people that you're engaged with, so that you have messaging going out continually to keep them engaged with what you're doing. So I land my plane there. Consistency in all aspects.
Absolutely. Let's take a break, guys, and we'll be right back.
So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forster Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them, that we're available. Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro? David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember, the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forster Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I join the Forster crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening. But where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem.
All right, let's go. Let's go. So again, thank y'all so much for all of the questions and the concerns. We super appreciate it. We're here probably for another, I'm not even sure what time it is. What time is it, Shay?
It's 10:55.
It's 10:55. So we're here for another probably 15 to 20 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions about the ILF model, the HRA, absolutely let us know. I'm going to spend the next probably 7 minutes or so talking about the HRA model, because I understand that a lot of you guys want to do what we do, but you don't have a house and you're not ready to rent one or lease one just yet.
Right.
So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I show you guys on that free webinar, but really fast though. So what is a housing referral agency? To me, that's the person that kind of plays the middleman in between the hospital or wherever you're going to get the call from.
Yeah.
You are a housing referral agency. So
resource.
your job
To be a resource.
is to be a resource for housing.
Mm-hmm.
So it may sound crazy for me to tell you today to go and post on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok that you are now a housing provider.
Right.
Excuse me, you are now a housing provider of affordable housing.
Right.
So every day, 7 days a week, y'all should be posting that. But if you don't have a house right now, you should be saying, there, that sounds really crazy. Why would I post that and I don't have a house? Gosh, just trust me on this. If you post that enough, and if you build the relationships like I teach you in that webinar and like I talk about today, you don't need the house. You can look in the chat right now, people like me, Katara, Tiffany, and other people that named how many beds they have available. And guys, what's so cool about the HRA? It works in all 50 states. So you can live in California and be referring to somebody in Georgia. You can be living in Arkansas and refer to somebody in Wisconsin.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter. So all you need is a cell phone, an internet connection, and the willingness to run your mouth to tell people that you are a housing provider. Give me 2 people in the chat that say, yes, Derek, I can do that. Like, Derek, I don't have to buy a house, rent one, or lease one, but just post it that I provide housing. Give me 2 people that say, Derek, I can do that. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Because again, why would you want to be a housing referral agency? Because you love God, love people, and you love real estate. Because you want to see the best for people. Absolutely. It breaks your heart to see homeless people sleeping on the ground outside. Or God has called you to this, but you couldn't figure out how to get a house. We're looking for you. You join us today. You don't need a house. You need relationship.
Right.
And we're showing you today and in the chat of how you can do that. Now, real quick, 6 minutes ago, I told all of y'all to turn yourself into a business so that when you say, well, Derek, what do I call this? Well, I call mine Second Chance Housing.
Right.
Shay called hers the Angela Denise Foundation. You can call yours whatever you want to. You can be a housing specialist. You can be a housing referral agency. Yep. You can be, Shay said it earlier, the word
housing resource.
A resource.
Navigator.
You are a resource for affordable housing.
Yeah.
Like, how hard is that? Right? And to start this whole thing, back to what I said before, right? Create a business. Remove you. Create a business entity.
It provides trust. Businesses having that business
and protection.
entity, and it also, like, again, you're not looking like, you know, Susie Simmons that's just out saying, hey, I can house that person for you, right? People want to know that you're taking this thing seriously, and that's when they really engage. So yeah, create a business. You want to be a professional, established business.
Absolutely. And again, guys, it provides that liability protection. Don't be like your big brother Derek and have to go through a $40,000 lawsuit for something that wasn't even true. Somebody can lie on y'all, but if you ain't got the proper setup, you don't got no lawyers in the LLC, it can be a complete lie. Yeah. But guys, you got to prove your innocence. And that's what I learned in court, guys, and just being in business in general. Somebody can go and file a claim on you right now. It don't even have to be true. But you're going to have to spend money to work things out. But again, if you're set up the right way, and you're insured the right way, you just sit back and relax and let as I would call the Johnny Cochran team, go and handle it while you stay home. Right? So I learned that stuff the hard way. My job is for you guys not to go through that. So create a business, create a website, and create a logo.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to know who you are. Just like when you guys see those golden arches, you think of French fries. When people see your logo, they should think of housing and what you do.
Yeah.
Somebody should be saying, well, how do I promote this? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, X,
Every
Pinterest,
platform. Google
word of mouth, everywhere.
You can't forget about Google My
Got to
Business.
get the GMB, because if you don't get a GMB, how can people verify that you're a real business?
Remember that lady that called and said, I can't find you.
Yep.
I want to see reviews on your entity.
Yep, absolutely.
And we were like, you can't find
I was like, please go. Like, we got tons of 5-star Google reviews. Please go look it up. In fact, we push people to go and see who we are. I also encourage people to join Facebook groups. A lot of you guys that are here right now, y'all found me in a Facebook group, right? Right? Give me 2 people that may have found me in a Facebook group and put, yep, that was me there. Or type in Facebook group. If you found me through another Facebook group, put it in the chat. Because again, that's just an example of how you guys found me. So again, guys, join Facebook groups and be active. There's a lot of these group home groups, IDD groups, shared housing groups. Yeah. You guys should get into all of those and be looking for the people that are looking for to fill their empty beds.
Hello.
There's a lot of people that get into this, guys, and they'll get the house, they'll furnish it, they'll turn the lights on and the water on, but have no clue how to get the clients. Look, for you guys, I come here 3 days a week and give it away to y'all.
What the funny thing is that we see it and hear it every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. So also, I've encouraged people over the last few years to create their own Facebook group. I even did it, right? Imagine drawing people into your group and you're known as the connector for people that have housing but can't get the clients. So I got people that I've taught this to that they've joined several groups. But I got people that also started their own group and they're drawing people to them. Guys, that is absolute genius. And again, this don't require a license. You don't have to own the property and you don't need real estate per se. You need relationship. So I also talk about creating a phone script. Now, looking for you guys, I got all of this stuff in the DIY product. I got a product that's called I Love Mastery Blueprint. That's the one-on-one coaching. But I also got a DIY version of it that we give you all of the phone scripts, the email scripts, and we teach you how to build the relationships and how it works. Right here on this slide, Shay, I talk about how do you become local or do you be statewide? So this is a choice. You say, Derek, I only want to work in my city, in my town. Or no, Derek, I want to cover all 50 states and I just want to house people everywhere. Guys, that's a personal choice to you.
Yeah.
And the bigger you get and the longer you are in this business, you're going to be able to decide that. So building relationships with other cities and states from where you live with hospitals, social service agencies. And if you get a virtual assistant to help you with this, guys, game over. So if you guys go to va101.co, again, that's va101.co, you can get a VA for $5 an hour, guys, that'll run this whole program for you just like we do. Okay. Janine says she heard us from Clubhouse, right? I even got a slide for that. Remember our Clubhouse days, guys? I'll admit we don't go to Clubhouse that much now. But remember Clubhouse? Janine's probably the only one here besides Angela, Janine, Katara, and Tiffany. That might be it. Ain't many Clubhouse people left. So everybody else that has found us after that probably came through YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. But I still believe it, even going on Facebook, even the new one that Nelson created. I can't even think of the name now. Chatter. Whatever forum that allow you to go on to run your mouth about your program. And again, I don't care if you house the homeless or you bake chocolate chip cookies and you trying to sell them. You should be on every forum there is to be able to do this. And imagine being able to use one system that could send this one post out to 7 different places at one time. And that's what we do with Digital Flow Solutions. So I'm going to even type that into the chat. Digital Flow Solutions.net. And that's an all-in-one platform for your social media, your branding, your marketing, your automations, your email campaigns.
Yep.
If you own a business, you should consider getting digitalflowsolutions.net, especially if you don't have a website, if you don't have a CRM, or if you got one, but it doesn't do all of these things that ours does.
Right.
So take some time and go to digitalflowsolutions.net. there's a lot of people that when they do go there, they find out that everything that we offer there for only $97, they're paying all of these separate subscriptions to try to get stuff. We did the same thing, guys. So
Guilty.
Don't go get 10 subscriptions for all of these things.
Guilty.
Get Digital Flow Solutions, guys, and get one product that has everything in it. Yeah, Cheryl, we guilty of that?
Guilty. Guilty as charged.
All right. So last but not least, we talk about building relationship with ILFs, group home owners, home healthcare agencies, all of these other places, right, that house people. Guess what? They also get calls for people that are not appropriate. Imagine building a relationship with an ALF that gets calls for people that are independent, so they can't house them. They need someone to refer those people to. Yep. So if I were you guys, I would find every ALF owner, every IDB owner, every APD owner, and say, hey, man, I know you guys get clients that need help. You guys got to feed them and bathe them and all of that. But if you guys get a client that does not meet your criteria, he's independent, and y'all can't house him, give us a call. This is exactly what we do. So again, guys, man, I've given you guys the structure today of how to do this. And just like this slide says, consider getting a CRM system to keep you in track. Digital Flow Solutions.
We got you.
We got you. So don't try to use
Wix.
No, the other thing, the Excel sheets and all of that. Don't get in that. Guys, get a CRM and a website, because if you don't, you don't exist, essentially. Yeah. And you want case managers and social workers to know that you're a real business and not some fly-by-night person, right? So, Shay, do you want to talk about that just a little bit in terms of what Digital Flow Solutions can do for their business with social media and social workers and case managers?
So, Digital Flow Solutions streamlines your whole process, right? I actually did a client, not assessment, I did a business reassessment and analysis for a client. And this client is using Digital Flow Solutions, but really didn't know how to implement or utilize it. And she was like, I have 5 spreadsheets. I have all of these things going, and I'm having to go bounce between all of these platforms. And I'm like, no, that defeats the purpose of why you paid for Digital Flow Solutions. So what I did is I helped her convert all of her spreadsheets into her CRM. So now all of her contacts, all of their information is in one location. And that's the benefit of Digital Flow Solutions. It's like having a digital phone book that gives you more than just the phone book information. It gives you more information than just the name, email address. You know, you can literally create different dialogue boxes that, you know, information you want to gather from a contact, and that will again be embedded in that person's contact information. Digital Flow Solutions allows you to create invoices, to create workflows and automations. So prime example, let's say you're someone like us that, you know, you want to automate a part of your process. Like we tell you to text the word more info or text the word new. You know, nobody's behind the scenes sending you the information that's happening next. That's all automated, right? When we create that process and it just runs while you're sleeping, right? So somebody may watch this tonight or this morning, tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and they may hear me say right now, text the phrase new to 407. Oh my goodness, I just remember 326-0086. And what's going to happen? I just had a brain fart. So again, that's a part of automations and workflows, and that stuff is all embedded into Digital Flow Solutions. Not only that, you can create emails that go out on a monthly basis. You can set up you can set up 50 emails by using ChatGPT, set them up in your platform, put them in the automations builder, and every week for the next 50 weeks, somebody's going to receive an email where you don't have to do anything but do it the first time. So hear what I'm saying.
Set it and forget. It's like a crock pot.
Right. It's being able to set things up the way you want them to kind of work in your business, and being able to leave it. Just set it up once, be done. So that's some of the benefits of Digital Flow Solutions. It houses your website. It has a phone system to where that phone system literally does everything, right? You can make calls, receive calls on your mobile, on your laptop, desktop, tablet, whatever
And
you
if you
want
got
to
a virtual
do.
assistant that you
They
want to
can
answer the
answer
phone
it.
for you, you can plug them
Yeah.
into it. So
You
guys,
can
we don't answer our
send
phone calls for
emails,
businesses.
receive emails.
VAs do that. Yep.
Geez, it's so much. Like, trying to give a surface level overview of digital flow solutions is very.
Yep.
It can take an hour plus.
Yep. And that's why we also offer that free
Assessment,
strategy
yeah.
call, and it actually it's called a business analysis.
Yep.
And I'll put that slide up. But if you guys
Yeah.
want more information about digital flow
That's me and my
solutions
team.
and how to incorporate it in your business,
And it
or
doesn't
maybe
have to be.
to get rid of, because a lot of people are not saying you
Yeah.
gotta do this, but a lot of people are getting rid of their old system and they're getting this.
Yeah.
Because that's why we call it an all-in-one platform, guys. So a lot of people, when they do have the business analysis, they learn and find out that they're paying for 5 to 7 different subscriptions to
Yep.
run their business, when they can get digital flow solutions and only have this one thing and everything's in one platform. Because if you guys are anything like me, I like things easy, y'all. I like things in one place and not having to go all over the place to make this one thing happen. So again, if you got an all-in-one platform where everything is for one business or multiple businesses, that just seems to make life easier for most people. So really quick, just as a recap, guys, step number 1 is start a business. Step number 2 is promote that business. Step number 3 is start to create that email script, the phone script of what you will say to these people when you start making the call. Now, obviously, if you've been around us for a long time, I've given y'all these scripts. But even through our DIY product, we give them to y'all in a printed out document, right? Next one is decide whether you're going to be local to serve your area, or will you even serve me over here in Orlando, Florida?
Right. Yeah.
Will you serve Katara in South Carolina? Will you serve Tiffany in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
The next step is build relationships all the way around you through social media, through word of mouth, through shaking hands and kissing babies. You need to be going to hospitals, speaking to social workers, case managers. And guys, we have over 600 videos to talk about how we do this.
Yeah.
So if you're super new to us, make sure that you go to our YouTube channel, click that button that says live, and look at all the rooms that we've ever done, guys. Rooms that they go for 3 and 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a lot, but guys, there isn't a question in y'all heads right now that you can think of that's probably not already in a video format. Again, guys, I'm proud of that. There's over 600 videos that can lead you down the right path of getting started with what this is. Number 6, consider getting a CRM system. We recommend digitalflowsolutions.net. The next step is decide on payment structure. Do you want to be paid per referral, or do you want to put people on a retainer to whether they pay you, whether you give them a referral or not?
Listen, that's
a whole nother coaching.
I need to meet with Angela today because I've been putting this off. I'm about to show Angela something, and she's going to implement something that's going to be powerful.
Okay.
It's going to be subscription based from her cell phone, and she won't have to do anything.
Okay.
Literally, but go in one location and send out a mass message to all of the clients that she has locally.
Meaning HRA people that she will refer
that
to.
She's referring
people
to.
that have the housing already.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like, prime example, she can say, hey, first person to, I have a client, blah, 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 give basic information. Boom. They have to now respond to her via a call. Okay. So that way she's not chasing down anybody and they can come into her. And guess what she can do? She can charge them a subscription to be a part of that chat. And that's just what I just talked about. So again, deciding on that payment structure, you guys, now I'll admit I charge per referral, but how powerful is it that you can put somebody on a subscription, right? And we talk about that with certain things that where no matter what, it comes in monthly and you do nothing to get it, right? We all dream of making money that way, right? In our sleep, and is on a subscription. Yeah. So again, and then the last step is conduct assessments and change lives through referrals. Because remember, we teach you guys how to get your phone ringing. How do you get the social worker to call you to even to ask you about housing? And then when they do, how do you now take that information and now refer out to possibly all of these people that you got in your database, like Shay just talked about with Angela? So those are the steps, but trust me, guys, in a more structured webinar, I give it to you guys in a 14-minute webinar. And again, that can be found by texting to the phone number 407-326-0086. Just text the phrase more info, MOREINFO. That's it. Nothing else to 407-326-0086. And then my team is going to send you 2
webinars. One is for the ILF, for you to be the operator, and one is for you to be the HRA, to where you actually want to make referrals to people and still make a living, still make an income. I like to call it make an impact and an income at the same time in your community. Let's take a break. Hopefully you guys got some questions and we'll be right back.
When you come back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.
To a 2022 report, an estimated 359 veterans across our state face homelessness.
Transitions Homeless Shelter is opening a new dorm to help get some of those veterans off the streets. News 19's Becky Buds reports.
2 months ago, Navy veteran Zachariah Shaheed found himself without a place to live before Transitions Homeless Center took him in.
Concrete is not somewhere anyone wants to be.
Shaheed was one of the 359 veterans across South Carolina facing homelessness, according to the latest National Point-in-Time Homeless Report.
I'm just thankful and grateful that I've become one that's not of that statistic now.
A new dorm at Transitions aims to bring that number down in Columbia.
28 more beds, 28 more options. That's going to help put a dent in the problem.
CEO Craig Curry says the program is providing 2 case managers, mental health services, food, addiction services, and more to each veteran. Each veteran will be able to stay for around 3 months.
In the end, you really want to place people into permanent housing, which is the name of the game.
Curry says they've already filled half the beds and expect to be at capacity soon. He adds it's being paid for under a Department of Veteran Affairs funded program.
We've had a population of homeless veterans here always, but now with these new contract beds, we'll be able to better care for them.
Next week, Shaheed is moving into his own place, thanks to a VA subsidized housing program.
I have some pretty good irons in the fire going for myself here. And
That's good stuff, man. Big shout out to Shaheed, man. And the reason why I show stuff like that is to show you guys who you need to be partnering with. Because if you just heard what happened, right, Shaheed can't stay at that place forever.
Yeah.
So why not partner with places like that to serve as the graduation for those people when they have to leave, and now they can move into your place.
Yep.
You also saw that there's only a limited amount of beds in that place. That's another reason why I would be connecting with that gentleman or whoever works at the front desk of that place and say, hey, man, I know you guys only have about 30 beds here. What happens to the people that call you guys that don't meet your criteria, or if you guys are full to capacity? Here's my card and my flyer and my information. Can you give us a call? Because we would love to help and partner with you guys for your overflow of people you can't house. Does that make sense, everybody? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Give me 3 people that say, yeah, Derek, that makes sense. Because if I'm just talking and this is baloney, but if this is making sense, because to me, again, when I look at a person like Shaheed, why wouldn't I want to house him?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like crazy, as people say. He's not bouncing all off the walls. He's not some rowdy guy. This guy just missed it somewhere in life, y'all. He needs some help. And most of us, glory be to God, that we are also one step away, one paycheck away from being in his shoes. So first of all, thank God that you got a place to live, but also ask God to allow you to be a resource for somebody else that is trying to get back on their feet.
Yeah.
Now, usually I'll say this to the end, But I'll say it now. Guys, don't procrastinate. If God has called you to do this, who are you not to do it? Yeah. And guess what procrastination is? It's the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already called you to do. Yeah. Does that make sense? One more time for my new people.
That don't make sense. It makes dollars.
Huh?
I said that don't make sense. It makes dollars.
Yeah, it makes dollars. I think I got lost in that. But anyway, arrogance is the assumption, or excuse me, procrastination
is the
arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. And for some of y'all and a lot of y'all, God already called y'all to this. It didn't take me to tell you. It just took me to re-encourage you, right? And to give you somebody to watch and to connect with 3 days a week to make the dream that God has put in your heart come true. So that's my job. So I promised God years ago, I said, God, if you make this work for me, I promise I'll go all over the world sharing it. And God, I'll never take any credit. And God, I'll tell people that it's because of you that we're in this, and it's because of you that makes it successful. So guys, watch me keep my promise. Guys, I am no genius. I'm no pastor. I'm no priest. I'm no bishop. And I'm not perfect by any means. But I do love God. I love people, and we love real estate. And God is allowing us to serve him and help people through real estate. How genius is that? And guys, I take no credit. In fact, I decrease so that God can increase in me to continue to help these people. And if that's your prayer, put a number 7 in the chat too. And as we begin to close on that, because I want to make sure that I really went through what the HRA is. We got questions in the chat already that I'll make sure that I cover. But if there are any questions about HRA, ILF, please, right now is a great time to do that. So a lot of people say, yep, that makes sense. She said it makes dollars and not cents. Thank y'all so much for being active in the chat. I'm going to go back through the chat now. I think Shay's got one geared up. So we'll go with Shay first.
So Yvette asks, is there any grants to get started? So again, as any female entrepreneur, right? You know that there are a lot of grants that are available, that can be available. I'll put it that way. And I tell people all the time, a grant access and acquisition is very competitive. So you want to make sure that you have all of your framework set up. And if you're going as a for-profit, know that you have to have a lot more information available for grant access. But check your communities, check your community foundations, look around to see what small business endeavors are going on in your community, because they do have access to grant funds for both for-profits and nonprofits. But you, again, want to have the actual business set up at the minimum, and then go from there. But yes, grants do assist, but know that grants are very competitive. Some grants, what people don't realize in this recent climate, a lot of your grantors are looking for, are doing things called what we call a reimbursement grant. So they would want to see you front the capital, and then they'll grant you back the capital that you funded. So just be mindful of that. Yes, there's grants for any startup. Well, not for any startup, but there is startup funds available. You just have to make sure you meet the criteria and that you're awarded what's necessary for you to get started. But the like I said, grants are very, very, very competitive. For every one grant, there's about, especially on a large scale, for every one grant, there can be over 5,000 applicants for that grant in your community, in your area.
Also, so give her an example of maybe the latest 2 grants that you've received.
Yeah, actually, I just found out I got a Walmart grant today. I was going through my emails this morning and found out that Walmart offered us a few dollars. Thank you, Walmart. Right? They have, for nonprofits, they have what's called Spark for Good, and they provide funds for a plethora of nonprofits, but you have to apply every quarter. They do quarterly grants, and we were awarded, not sure what the award amount was as of yet, but I do know that I have to do some stuff for them to get things done. The last grant I did get was before then was $10,000 from Renaissance Bank. First Horizons Bank. What am I talking about? First Horizons Bank here locally, and Prime example, out of, they said it was 16,000, I think, people that applied, and out of the 16,000, they only chose 160 people for the grant. So be mindful, right? You have to be in alignment with those grants in order for them to facilitate or even look at your need, right? You have to have things implemented in place. They want to see a website. They want to see social media. They're gonna dig, right? And
Let's
that's
talk
some of
about
the
for 2
things.
seconds too of who found this grant for you. How did this grant get applied for? Who found it? All of that good stuff.
My virtual assistant, actually. I didn't even know this bank. I didn't even know First Horizons was a bank in Orlando. Had no clue.
So guys, as I'm flipping through the pictures of our team, I'm landing on Latrell, and I'm gonna give it back to Shay to tell you guys who Latrell is.
So Latrell is actually my virtual assistant here at the Angela Denise Foundation. He does all of my grant research, grant applications. He does everything social media. He's literally the one that keeps me consistent in my messaging as a nonprofit founder, right? He allows for the nonprofit's mission and vision to be consistently in the faces of people and in the faces of the community by having that messaging go out. He's also the one that does my grants. He finds the grants, he applies for the grants, he helps write the programs attached to the grants. Like, all of this stuff is done by my virtual assistant. So, he's even helped reposition me in a manner for larger grants, because there are certain things like that $10,000 grant. There are certain things that you have to be aligned with to be considered grant ready. And he has also helped with that. So I'm praying that in the new year, we're going to look at a lot more larger grants than that as we continue to get ourselves even larger grant ready, as we continuously develop our grant readiness. So again, that's Latrell.
Good stuff. And also a question came in for how are you guys renting or leasing these properties, and what are you seeing? Well, luckily for you, we actually put that in an ebook. So many years ago, the only way that we would release that information, you had to have our coaching, right? That's a big part of our coaching. But over the years, we got a little laxed, and now this is in an ebook. So if you guys text the word purpose, PURPOSE, that's it, to the phone number 407-326-0086. My team will give you access to it. And it's only $97. Yeah. It's an ebook, but it's also a role play that's attached to it. So it's a recorded role play and an ebook that gives exactly the verbiage of what to say. So this is a game changer for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that, I'll admit, we get a lot of phone calls and people only want this information.
Yeah.
I got a lot of coaching, right? But we get a lot of people that only want, Derek, how in the world are you guys renting houses? And the owner says yes to what y'all doing.
Right. Yeah.
I'll admit, guys, for many years, you had to have my coaching. But now for $97, man, we unveiled what that is. And not only do I give it to you word by word, we actually also give you a role play of what it sounds like verbally. So I'm super excited about that. Many of you guys never got a chance to meet my brother who passed away last November. But my brother is still teaching, believe it or not, because that role play is him and I actually doing this role play. So I'm super excited that not only do you get an ebook, but you get a live role play for only $97 for the exact instruction and how we say it and what words are we using. Because a big part of what we do, guys, if you mess the words up, you're going to find yourself in a rabbit hole. So don't do that. Consider texting the word purpose to 407-326-0086. Ms. Shay, back on you for any other questions in the chat.
Let me go back to the chat.
Here's a small one. Yvette says, one more time, what days do you come on YouTube? So we're live every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, right? And then we're live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And what's pretty cool about our rooms, they're all recorded. We also simulcast. So we're usually on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, sometimes Chatter, sometimes Clubhouse, all at the same time, right? Because the software that we use allows us to stream in multi places. But every Monday and Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. In fact, I'm gonna take that into the chat.
Yeah. And I'm looking through the chat. Sorry if I look like I'm not paying attention. I'm just looking through the chat.
And that's at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we come back on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. The reason why we do that, we want to give you guys game on Monday to start your week. We want to give you some game on Tuesday to continue the week. We're going to give you some rest in between that. We're going to come back on a Saturday to give you some more. And then you go talk to God the next day at your church, right? So not that you got to go to a building, because some of y'all don't go to church, but I do recommend it. Go to somebody's church tomorrow, a good church tomorrow. Hopefully you found a home church, and have this discussion with God tomorrow in the building.
Today too.
Even if it's in your heart, say, God, man, I saw them guys on YouTube. Boy, God, I really want to do that. It seems like they're doing your will, God. Derek said that he want to please God, help people, be respected by the community, and make money while we doing it to be able to feed our families.
And build.
And God, I want to do that. So communicate this message with God and tell God you want to be in it, and tell God to remove every barrier and every hurdle that may be in the way of it. Because not because Derek said it or Shay, but the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. It also says that we'll take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. And that's what we're doing, guys. We just so happen to be doing it through real estate. So my prayer every day is that God allow me to do his will. And God, if you would allow me to do it through real estate, I'd be so appreciative. Because there's a lot of ways to do God's will. But sometimes, hey, ain't no wrong with asking us, hey, God, can I do your will through real estate?
Yeah.
There's a lot of poor and needy people, homeless and displaced. God, I want to help them people.
Yeah.
Because we are to possess the land too. God wants us to be owners, guys. Not always borrowers. Not always the renter.
Yeah.
Right? We ownership. Right? But even before we own the place, why can't we go and lease or rent a place to help these people? And for me, guys, I'll admit that was the cheat code. When I found out that I could get into this and didn't need a license, didn't need permission from my state, didn't need staff, and didn't have to buy the property.
Yeah.
Guys, that was the biggest cheat code ever to me. And that's why I say, man, you know what? No matter what it takes, I'm getting in this, because there is no license and I don't have to buy a house. For most of y'all, that's the biggest hurdle of getting into this. 3 of y'all be honest with me and put, that was me. Type the phrase, that was me, if you thought you had to buy the place and need a license to do what we do to house people in something that looked like this. Somebody type, that was me. In fact, I'm going to be the first one, because I know that was me. And And guess what? I was the social worker working in the hospital. And dummy me, it took me 9 years to realize the job that I was working was really what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. But not as the social worker. I wanted to be able to help people, house people, and be able to do it through real estate, whether I owned it or not. And now God has blessed us that we rented and leased for so many years that now today we actually buy property, and we prefer it that way. So again, if you're new to us, this is the first time you've seen us, man, we love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And we found out, boy, it's hard to lose in life when you're doing God's will, helping his people. In fact, my mom says it this way: if you want to see the hand of God move in your life, help his people.
Yeah.
And watch how your life will also change. Let's take a real quick break and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? You probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God is giving you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co, and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise. We figured out your problem. You have a great business or a great business idea. You just don't have a website. So visit digitalflowsolutions.net and get the best website in the world for only $97. And then you just pick your monthly plan. Let's get back to the content. All right, like the guy, you heard the guy. We figured out your plan.
That guy.
Your problem. You got a great idea. In fact, you got a bunch of ideas, but you don't have a website. So make sure that you guys visit digitalflowsolutions.net for the best CRM system and website around.
VA101.co. VA101.co. You need help. I don't care what business you have. I don't care what entity you're running. Why not implement a virtual assistant that can help you with the heavy lifting, whether it's social media management, whether it is, sending emails, creating whatever it is that you need, they can do it.
Absolutely.
Merge a virtual assistant with a new CRM system.
Fireworks.
No matter if you
in fact, just really quickly, let me run y'all through what Shay talking about. So here's our team. Most of our team is from the Philippines. Alex is from Nigeria. Danish is from Pakistan. But watch this. Tara is our executive administrator. She's the boss. Tara is over all businesses that we run. She's over all of our staff that you're getting ready to see. Jess, 18 months ago, guys, was trained to be me. Jess runs my housing program, Second Chance Housing, all the way from the Philippines. She answers the phone. She builds the relationships in the community. And remember, guys, I'm in Orlando. Jess lives in another world, another continent, all the way in the Philippines. Because right now where I live, guys,
13 hours
it's 11:36 a.m. It is now 12:36
p.m. Well, it's tomorrow.
No. Right. So get that right now.
12:36 a.m.
Right. So they're 13 hours ahead of us in a completely different time zone, completely different culture, completely different continent. That's why I say completely different world from us. Shay laughs when I say that, but when you move from continent to continent, to me, that's a whole other world. But just to let you know, not being funny anymore, guys, Jess runs my entire program. She's also customer service in 5 other businesses that I run. Alex runs our digital marketing company, Digital Flow Solutions. Guys, I can barely turn my computer on. I'm not very tech savvy, but I look like it because of Alex. I look like it because of Danish. Danish is our developer. Danish has been developing software, guys, since he was the age of 7 years old. Can you imagine that? And now is well into his 30s. But without Alex and Danish, there is no digital marketing company. Impossible. Without April, there is no social media. There is no YouTube channel. There is no monetizing my YouTube. There is no working for 3 and 4 other people. April works for other people for us. Hannah works for other people for us. In fact, Hannah was my first VA ever over 2 years ago. In fact, her nickname is Genesis. She was the beginning. Hannah started all of this with VAs with us. But guess what? Hannah really don't work for me anymore. But she kind of sort of do. But guess what? Hannah works for about 5 other people and we get paid for it. So we teach you guys how to take these VAs at $5 an hour and now find 5 to 8 people in your cell phone that need help, that need social media management, that need their ebooks written, that need grammar and all of these things done that you don't have time to do. Guys, this is why we use VAs. They're the absolute cheat code. And without Latrell, Shay is not getting $10,000 checks. She ain't getting these Costco cards. She ain't getting these Walmart grants. She's not getting the... Shay, talk about the company. You should actually go grab it. That book that mailed you, that Shay received a grant, y'all, that wasn't money. It wasn't a check. What was it?
It was actually a resource, right? So what they did is they
you should go grab one and show them.
You want me to?
Please do.
Listen, well, go to commercial. I'll jump up and I'll go grab one of the books so you all can see it. It is beautiful. Like I was like, when the office called me, it all got delivered to my office. I was not expecting no mail in the office. Latrell told me that we did receive a grant. It was called the 4 Imprint Grant. It was for $500. And, he was like, well, what do you want to get? And I was like, you know what? I don't want pens. I want to do something that'll incentivize my donors. Something that can be a little bit more.
And you said 4 Imprint?
4, the number 4, Imprint.
What is that? Tell the people what that is.
It's actually a website that personalizes items for you. So it can be mugs, pens, books, everything. They do shirts. They do totes. They do all of that stuff.
So are the people hearing that when you get a grant, it's not always money?
No.
Okay. Did you know that?
Yes.
You knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was not expecting for what was allocated in the grant, right? Usually sometimes when you have grants like that give you a product, it's usually something on the lower end. It's something that they can kind of dish out pretty quickly, but this was not the case with Fort Imprint. So thank you, Fort Imprint. Okay, the Angela Denise Foundation is very pleased with the grant that we received, and I'll go get it and bring it back. But
so let's take a break. You run downstairs and come back.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forsterconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for a Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forsterconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show.
All right, we are back.
So give me
I'm
full
gonna take
screen.
this down.
Got me all out of breath and stuff. But anyway, Fort Imprint is a company that, again, personalizes items for you. And with their grant, they do a $500 grant gift to nonprofits. And then they send you their catalog, and you can choose what you want.
Right.
So I wanted something that would be an incentive for my donors over $100. And this is what they gave me. A leather-bound, trying to get the angle there so you can see it, journal, which has our logo embossed. Embossed. Do you like that word? Embossed in it.
This book is really
nice. Like,
it's
this
heavy.
does no justice.
Yeah. How many?
It's a lot of pages.
Yeah. Now, what can people do in this book, Shay?
So I'm trying to see if I can
journal. Is it taking notes?
It can be a journal.
Do you sign it and give it to them? Are you selling these books? Are you giving them away? What are you allowed to do because it came from a grant? That's a good question. That's my question.
One is, it was based for the program. The program had, for one program that we wanted to get started, this was pretty much like a sample gift. So that when our program does get up and running and operational, that we'll be able to utilize this. So this is.
And how many of these books did you get?
I think I got like 30.
It was like 30 of them?
Okay. 30, yeah. But this is the gift. So it will be a donor incentive for our donors that donate to the Angela Denise Foundation. This will be something that we mail to you as a thank you.
So in case of the donors watching, what is the amount that they have to donate to get this book?
$100.
$100. Okay, you got it.
So any donation $100 and over is what we're giving the journal for. So it's awesome. It's got a lot of pages. It even has the little
book stopper
tabs, so that you know where you're at.
Yep.
If you want to gift it to someone, it even has like you won't be able to see it because of the camera, but it has like a information, a to and from kind of situation where you can give it to someone or, personalize it.
And how did you guys apply for that to get that? Was that the normal way of how the trail applies for grants?
Yes.
Now, how did so that the people know, how did Latrell know that was a possible grant to even apply for? How does he know this stuff?
She said, what is I'm sorry. So the grant, I just got sidetracked by a comment that came in. Sorry. Y'all, that's just how I am sometimes.
So it's called Fort Imprint.
Fort Imprint. So this is literally a part of his grant searching, right? He does there's different platforms that he uses. And then he's also one of those people that just researches, right? And then we have this large list that we do in Asana, and he has it all set up by, the amounts. So like prime example, if it's a $10,000 grant, he has all of the $10,000 grants underneath that account. And then if it's like something else, he has it underneath that. And then he has the due dates and the final call to action dates that I have to, have my butt in position for things that he needs from me. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that he does. in regards to getting that stuff prepared. But he searches. Listen, Derek, don't make me lie on what the young man does, but he searches like the Dickens to find out our grants, what are available to us, what do we align with, and then he goes ahead and moves forth with the process of applying. So that's literally how that works. So yeah, and then somebody asks, what is the name of the company that made this? Okay, For Imprint. Yes, For Imprint. And there's a lot of companies that do this. This is probably the more expensive of the journals because of the number of pages, and again, the aesthetic of the book. So just be mindful of that. And I'm just grateful, like super grateful that they were able to do this for us. Super grateful for what they do in the community. And I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to be able to say thank you to our donors by being able to provide them with one of these. That's it. That's my that's my grant situation, and I hope y'all love it, like it, because I love it. This is an amazing journal. Like, it's nice.
So again, guys, as we begin to close, I didn't even realize how far over we actually went. So we're super over our time today. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of kind of what we shared today. I'm obviously going to still go through the chat to see if there are any questions. I never like to leave questions unanswered. So again, last call for any questions. We'll browse the chat. And if you guys got any questions for Shay about this book, where it came from, how he applied for it, how you can get one, and again, if you're a donor, or if you're just looking for a great place to land $100 in some good soil and some good ground, Shay is definitely it. In fact, I'm going to put up, because Shay's got a thing here about how to follow the Angela Denise Foundation. Yes. So make sure that you guys are following the Angela Denise Foundation on both Facebook and Instagram. You see it?
There's one right
here. It is right here. So here it is. Please follow the Angela Denise Foundation on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look at all the great work that they're doing over there. Yes. Latrell is solely responsible for everything, pretty much, that you will see. Shay is extremely busy, just like me, with a bunch of other endeavors. But that's why we have these VAs, guys. The VA is going to allow you guys to be the hero in your community, in your business, and within your family, because you're getting help from somebody else at only $5 an hour. So I think that's also the cheat code to your life, is getting a virtual assistant. That's a one-time fee for only $297, and then $5 an hour to pay that VA. So again, I'm gonna go quick. Shay, go ahead.
In preparation for the upcoming holiday season, I will, starting on Monday, have an automation for people to connect with the Angela Denise Foundation. We're looking to do a Thanksgiving campaign, as well as a Christmas giveaway for some youth in the community. So all of my amazing board of directors, we will be having a board meeting upcoming to start getting you all that information, so that we can gather those funds to do something amazing in the community, right? Whether if we're going to partner with another organization, kind of do meals at those organizations, do something fun, do something creative. But the goal is to really make a difference and an impact in the lives of others. So be here on Monday so you get all of that great information on how you can become a donor to the Angela Denise Foundation. And with your gift of $100 or more, you will get presented with an amazing journal from the Angela Denise Foundation, just for you.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And Shay, thank you so much for sharing it. Also, big shout out to I had two groups of really big families that joined us today. So big shout out to you guys, to you all. I think there were two families that had over 15 people in each household that was watching us on like a 60-inch screen TV. So we appreciate you guys. The Winter family is one of those, and you guys asked a lot of questions in the beginning. Also, we just got another family that just joined us. My team just sent me a text. There's another family that just joined us and got a bunch of questions. No problem. Go back and watch the replay, but always join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern live, and also Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Another thing is that subscribe to the YouTube channel. So that way, when we do go live, you actually get the notification that we're on. So there's this notification bell that everybody tell you to hit. If you hit that notification bell, Every time that we go live, it'll push a notification to your phone.
Yeah.
That way you never forget it. So some people join us religiously every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. I just want to give a big thank you to you all, because you guys got a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets. But when you guys choose to spend it with us, we appreciate that. And that's why we don't do those 3 and 4 and 5 hour rooms anymore. We like to respect y'all time, because a lot of y'all got things to do on Saturdays, right? But I love it when you guys start the day with us at 10 and we end it somewhere right before 12 usually. So we're about 10 minutes before that. I'm going to browse the chat really quickly. So if you got any questions, you may want to sneak that in right now. Here's one. I mentioned this, but maybe you came late, ma'am. She asked me, why did I get sued many years ago? So also, don't forget, that's in that free book. So I give y'all a free ebook that I wrote less than 60 days ago. It's called Avoiding the ILF Fiasco. How to avoid the 12 biggest mistakes, or I should have named it the dumbest mistakes I ever made when it came to starting this. You guys get that just by texting the word NEW, N-E-W, to 407-326-0086. But that lawsuit, Caribbean girl, was because I wasn't structured the right way. So remember, if you were here about 18 minutes ago, I talked about the first step to starting anything when it comes to business is, now I'm sure your name isn't Caribbean girl, but remove your first and last name from the whole scenario and start a business. So when I wanted to start this, I removed Derek Forster after my mistake, and then I created Second Chance, which is my housing program. But the dumb mistake I made, Caribbean, was I started to do this and I put the lease in my name. That was dumb.
And then
because go ahead.
Why? Okay, so you put the lease in your name, but that's not why you got sued.
Right, and that's where I was going before you stopped me, Shay.
I'm just making sure that's where you're going. I want you to land the plane.
So when I put that lease in my name, and when somebody that had ill will against me wanted to tell a lie, right? And I'll just be honest and quite frank right on this live. The gentleman slipped down the stairs, but lied about how it happened, right? And sued me. But one thing about a lawsuit, guys, it don't have to be true. Caribbean girl, I can go and sue you right now today and say that, man, you know what, last night you tripped over a tree and you hit my left leg and now my left leg hurts. I'm going to sue you. Guys, you can do that. And if you're not structured the right way, meaning an LLC with the proper insurance, guys, you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. And even though the lawsuit may come, if you're structured the right way with the insurance, nothing happens essentially.
Can I share something?
But if you're not structured the right way, now you got to go to court, hire all of these lawyers, and be out of $40,000 for something that could have cost you minimum amounts of money through great coaching and the right insurance.
But can I share? I'm going to share something, and that's it. And then I'm leaving y'all. But what you also have to be mindful of is if you're not structured the right way, like we weren't initially, the landlord now comes after you as well. So it's not just the client that had the issue. Now the client and the landlord both had the issue, right? And those are called the indemnifications that follow suit when you don't know better, right? So those are the things you want to navigate through. So transitioning over to making sure that all properties are under an LLC, or the leases are done appropriately with the right verbiage from our attorneys, as well as having your liability coverages to cover the entity and also to cover that landlord as well. So that landlord is not in turn coming after you because that person that slipped and fell decided they were going to get a twofer, right? A 2-for-1 and go for the landlord and then go for the landlord.
Absolutely.
So he went for 2 landlords, and that's how that takes place. I think one day we should do just a whole room on that scenario to break it down. If you guys would want us to do a room that just really goes into detail on that, actually, let's make that for our ILF family. Let's do that first.
We actually got we actually have a workshop coming up October 22nd.
Okay.
ILF members are automatically enrolled in it, but for everybody else, that will be a $97 workshop. Maybe we throw that in there too. No problem. Yeah. So guys, set your calendars for October 21st. That's going to be an online work. I'm sorry, the 22nd. Because that's a Tuesday. Now, if I'm wrong about it, y'all will tell me. But October 22nd is a Tuesday. I'm about 99.9% sure. And we're going to have a workshop on that date at 7 p.m. So make sure that you guys set aside time for that. For outside people, it'll only be $97. But if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, you guys just come to that for free. Remember, you guys don't pay for outside workshops. I also saw something in the chat, and now I can't find it, but Miss Linda stated that the devil is a liar, that she got into an accident, but everybody's okay. So that's a great segment to also kind of share with people that Linda is on the cusp of opening up her brand new facility. In fact, today she put that at 12 p.m., which is in 6 minutes. She's getting her first client, and look at what the devil trying to do. So the devil is a liar. The devil is trying to distract Miss Linda. But luckily for her and blessed of her, there was nobody harmed. Nobody was hurt. The car was totaled, but all is well in Jesus' name. So Miss Linda, I speak healing and restoration on your mind, your physical, and over your entire family, and you will have a replacement for that car because your insurance going to pick it up with no problem in Jesus' name.
We're going to get a nice big one so that, you know, that you can do things with your residents.
Yeah, you're an ILF provider now, so maybe we don't buy a little car now. Maybe we consider the SUV or a pickup truck. And that's another conversation that we can actually have by phone. There was one more thing, and Shay, I think that was it. Somebody said something about a physical address and a virtual address. I want to find it.
Oh, that was way at the top somewhere.
Let me see. Well, I don't have to remember it verbatim, but I will just kind of talk about it. So when the question was brought up about the address, I'm not sure if you caught it from the beginning, but when Ms. Linda asked, could she put the address in the chat? We said no to that because that was the physical address for her place. Now, when we're talking about mail and our clients who receive mail, and just to be safe and to be, how can I word it? To be business funded ready, we do want that virtual address. And again, some people have a problem with giving their tenants the actual house address to receive mail. That's a personal preference. I'll admit, I don't have any problem with it. I want them to establish where they're living, and I want them to have an address. I also don't want to go and get a P.O. box, and they got me running to the mailbox 5 days a week. Right? So I'm not doing that. So I want to make the mail thing convenient. But just back to her point, yes, everybody needs a business address. Don't use your house address for no reason. In my opinion, if you're running a business, do not use your home address on that LLC entity. Now, you take my coaching, we can go further on that, but just free coaching right now for everybody. Don't use your home address, because what if you get sued or served? They're going to show up right to your front door knocking. What if you make somebody mad within the business? They're going to come right to your front door knocking, disturbing you and your family and your children. The devil is a liar. So we're going to get a business address that's, away from where you live at. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so if that makes sense, that's probably a good spot to end on. Don't forget, if you guys are new to us, I got a free gift. Don't cost you nothing. Now, in 30 days, that book will be $37. But for right now, I want you guys to get my newest ebook, How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco, especially that $40,000 lawsuit. Guys, that book is free. And you get it by texting the number that's scrolling below right now on your screen. And you text the word new. So you text one word. Don't tell me where you're from. Don't tell me nothing else. Just say NEW to 407-326-0086. And my team will ask for your first and last name, your email address, and boom, they immediately send you that book for free. No charge to you. If you wait 30 more days outside of today, that book will be $37. Okay? Other than that, the Winter family, I knew you guys were going to ask it, and I was ready for it. So these are our consultation services. Obviously, I come here free 3 days a week. You can get it that way. Or if you say, man, Derek, I want you to hold my hand. Here goes some of our coaching products. So the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, is $7,500. That's a cheat code for what all comes in it. The ILF Accelerator is only $3,000. And then the do-it-yourself version is only $997. And I'm going to talk about now what's involved in all of those. So the ILF Mastery Blueprint is what most people want. They want me to hold their hand. They want to become family of ours. They want me to be in their back pocket. So the one-on-one coaching, the business coaching, which we don't even talk a lot about, but that's amazing in itself. Because a lot of people, once you master this, it's like, okay, what's next? Well, lucky for you, if we're still your coach, which we should
Other
be,
business
we're going to talk
opportunities.
about other business ideas now and how you can grow and scale those. Your logo, your logo build out is on us. Your website is on us. The virtual assistant is on us. The HRA contents, the HRA business in the box, you get it for free. All the documents, the ILF paperwork, the ILF contents, you get it. How to acquire your first property, we give you that coaching. The MSI group coaching recordings, guys, that's a 5-week course. That's $4,500 by itself. Guys, we involve that inside of this. Every ebook, every curriculum, and all the communities that we give you guys as VIP communities, the IMB members get all of that. And all of the workshops, you guys don't pay for.
Right.
The ILF Accelerator is a 6-month program. Now, the first one, you tied to me for life. Even though the contract could probably say a year. But as long as you're actively in it and you trying it, like a lot of people from 5 and 6 years ago who we still coach, guys, they're in it. But this one is a hard stop at 6 months. This is for the guy that says, Derek, I already got a house. I kind of know what this is. And Derek, I don't need you to hold my hand for my whole life. Derek, give me the best 6 months you got it. Let's go. This is for those people. The only thing that's not involved in this from the other package is the virtual assistant and the logo build out. But everything else, including your website, the CRM, the paperwork, the documents, the ebooks, the coaching, you still get it. So this has been a real blessing for a lot of people that say, well, Derek, I don't need you for life, dog. But can I get you for 6 months? You absolutely can for $3,000. And then for people that say, well, Derek, I don't need you at all. Just give me all the paperwork, all the ebooks, still build my website, Derek. Give me all that HRA stuff. Give me all the documents, Derek, all the ebooks. And Derek, I don't need you because I can do this at my own self-pace.
Exactly.
That's for these people. And lucky for y'all, I actually have a scholarship for every one of these. And right now, like prime example, the DIY starting right now today is only $497. So if you guys wanted this package and you still want us to build the website with your advice, with your lead, and all of this stuff, you get all the documents. And again, what's most important about this package is that, to me, is the MSI group coaching and the website. Because the MSI group coaching, Shay, they still get me for 5 weeks straight, and it's recorded. And each week, Shay, was over 3 hours long. And it's the same teaching that I give the ILF Mastery Blueprint members. They just get me personally. Right here, you get it on the video. So what I've been seeing a lot of people do with this one, they're buying this package, Shay, and then they're buying additional coaching hours to where they still get me one-on-one. This is genius, y'all. So again, if you want the ILF Mastery Blueprint for only $497, text the word WOW, W-O-W. My team is going to see it, and they're going to send you the requirements to be able to get it at that price. And I'll admit, it's real easy. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and give a 5-star Google review, you get this for $497. Okay? And then right here on the accelerator and the blueprint, those scholarships are talked about once we have a call. Because again, there's a certain amount of funds that are given to this. So depending on when you call, of how much of a discount is going to be taken from it. But right now, today, I can tell you that the ILF Master Blueprint DIY is only $497. Text the word WOW, W-O-W, and that's it. And we'll send you the information to get the ILF Master Blueprint do-it-yourself version, Shay, for only $497. We're going to take one more commercial break, guys. We'll be right back, and we're going to pray y'all out of here. Hey, what's going on, family? I super hope you guys are enjoying this information. But let's just say you want more one-on-one coaching, just like what you're receiving now. You're actually looking for our ILF Mastery Blueprint. So that's our hand-holding one-on-one coaching, where that's what most of the people that come to us, that's what they want. They don't want to just watch me on YouTube all the time, right? They want me in their back pocket for one-on-one coaching. And what's super powerful about it right now, that there's a scholarship that's actually available that brings that down to only $7,500, a long ways from the normal price of the $15,000. So even doing this live right now, if you guys text IMB below, my team can send you over some information. But nevertheless, definitely go over and see forsterconsultants.com and check us out there as well. Let's get back to the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are out of here. There are no more questions in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget what I told you guys earlier. Make sure that you go to a house of worship tomorrow. Tell God thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's been a rough week. It's been a rough year for some of y'all. It's been a rough month. But regardless, still go to a house of worship tomorrow and tell God thank you. And also, this is something that you want to do. Just pretend God didn't see this or hear it, even though he did. Pretend that he didn't. And tell God tomorrow. Open up the communication and talk it. God, I want to be involved in that. That's helping people. It's doing your will, and it involves real estate.
Yep.
And God, if you ain't bothered by that, allow me to get into it.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm going to let Shay give her salutation. Shay going to give it back to me. I'm going to pray y'all out of here, and then we're going to let y'all go. Miss Shay, bless the people.
Thank you all for being here. Join the Angela Denise Foundation. Not sign up. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. At Angela Denise Foundation, and see what we're doing. Connect with us, like, share. You don't have to be someone that's donating physically, but share our information, share with your friends, invite other people to like and share our pages so they can get some insight on what the Angela Denise Foundation is doing in our community. And again, be blessed, have a great day, and do something great for somebody that can never repay you.
I love that. And also, guys, on right here on this YouTube channel, there's something that's called, I think it's called a super thanks. So people oftentimes joke and say, well, Derek, I wish I could tip you. Well, they got it now. So if you look on our YouTube channel somewhere, there's a button, I think that says super thanks. You're allowed to give me 99 cents. Y'all can give me $1.99. It can be $2.99. Or if you feel real good, you can give 50. But I would appreciate if 3 of y'all can give either a super chat.
Yeah.
So if y'all can give me a super chat for either 99 cents or $1.99, I would absolutely appreciate that. That'll make me almost lose my mind in a good way. So I got one last week, and I really appreciate that from Miss Charmaine. She gave me $1.99. I
even
love
a
that.
Super sticker. They can do super stickers.
Super stickers are also money?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. So super sticker or super chat, and guys, it goes as little as 99 cents. So if you guys want to tip me, I'd appreciate it.
These are fun.
Other than that, we always jokingly say that we do not pass around an offering plate here. This is absolutely free information because I promised God over 8 years ago that if he would give it to me, that I would go all over the world teaching it, and that I would never take any credit. So I hope today that we said something that either changed your mind, it woke you up to something, or gave you a new way to view real estate and also helping people. So again, if we've done that, we will absolutely also love a 5-star Google review. I got a slide for that, actually. Let me see if I can find it. Because if I can give y'all that, I would appreciate it. And then I'm going to let you guys go. Y'all been here all day with us this morning. Did you guys enjoy the room today? Give me 5 people in the chat that if you guys enjoyed the room today, just let us know. We would absolutely appreciate that. And since I can't find it, I won't waste y'all time. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pray, and I'm going to let you guys out here. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. God, thank you for the ability to give what you just gave me. And Father God, again, thank you for waking us all up this morning. Somebody didn't wake up today, but God, we did. And for that, we want to say thank you. And Father God, for everybody that's under the sound of my voice that want to do this, that God, that want to do your will through helping people involved in real estate, Father God, open up every door of opportunity, open up every door of resources. And Father God, give us houses that we did not build. Because God, we want to do your will, helping people through real estate. So Father God, by your Holy Spirit, bring all this information back to their remembrance and let them not forget it. But God, most importantly, allow them to move at the speed of instruction to do it. And in the name of Jesus, every one of these people are healed from the top of their heads to the soles of their feet. There is nothing wrong with any of them. We are all healed, delivered, and set free. Because God, we often say it's hard to do your will sometimes when we're not having an able body and we don't have the mind of Christ. So today, God, give us a sane mind, a sound mind, an able body to do your will. Because God, you gave us the ideas. You gave us the ability. Now, God, help us do it. And today the devil is under our feet and has no place in our life, our business, or our family. So God, these people will do the will of God through you. And God, you will help them through your Holy Spirit. And there's no devil in hell that can stop it. So God, we give you all glory, all honor, and all praise for what you already are doing and what you will do. Because God, we believe and we speak in faith and we call these things that are not as though they were. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Amen, amen, amen. If you guys believe in that, type in the chat, amen. And we'll see you guys Monday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. You guys be great, and we'll see you next time.
If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.